Like, change the big brother from the little brother, but they both even, because again, that's showing the respect of the levels before and then after, so it's
Gervonta Davis, renowned for his explosive power, dramatic knockouts, and formidable support system, made a surprising appearance at Leonard Ellerbe's press conference. Tank showed up alone, without the usual presence of Leonard Ellerbe, Calvin Ford, or his entourage. For a fighter of Davis' high profile, this was an unusual and unexpected sight. What's going on?
How it is when it comes to the fight game. My thing is, if you really want to fight, let's sit down and figure it out. There's three things they got to figure out: where the fight gonna be at, how much a person gonna get paid, and where the weight gonna be at. Once some things get figured out, it's a wrap.
Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis' longtime trainer, is more than just a coach. He's been a father figure, a mentor, and the driving force behind Tank's rise as a knockout artist. Ford's absence at such a significant event raised many questions. Is there tension between them? Was it merely a scheduling conflict? Or is there something deeper happening in Tank's camp?
take a page out of Al. You got to listen to the fighters because they're the ones in the ring taking the blows. My job is pay him and get him to the promised land.
Interestingly, Calvin Ford, with his unique perspective on boxing, might offer some insight. Despite coaching one of the sport's most feared punchers, Ford isn't a fan of knockouts.
We could be boys.
That's right.
We tight.
Talk about that, coach.
We tight. We good friends.
Yeah.
Then you let people out in the business do things because it's business, but then in the mindset, it don't look right.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's right. The man who shaped Davis into a co-artist actually prefers long, grueling fights where opponents are punished rather than knocked out cold. In a recent interview with Boss, Ford revealed his surprising stance. Man, I don't like knockouts. I like punishment.
Well, we hear in prize fighting especially that it's about momentum. And when it comes to Gervonta Davis, I don't think you can have more momentum than coming.
For Ford, the mark of a great fight isn't the highlight reel finish, with a lasting impact on the opponent. He enjoys fights that push boxers to their limits, making them remember every punch they endured. Ford recalled a sparring session from Davis' early days when the young fighter faced off against a Russian opponent. He hit that dude one time, boom, dropped him.
What's on my plate? And the only thing on my plate is the guys in front of us right there, so the only thing I'm trying to do is just enjoy life, count my blessings, and worry about the next. Who's next? That's what we're worrying about. Any other questions?
So who should the fans be looking out for?
Well, I can't talk about that because it's still negotiation and whatnot. That's why.
No.
He looked at his hands and looked at me. I said, "Oh my God." Ford recounted that even then, he wasn't thrilled about the quick finish and wished for a longer, more grueling session.
In the gym at 165, but it's different. Tank was hitting guys with 16-ounce gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Can Tank pull it off? Yes. But climbing that ladder, taking that chances, taking that type, that's a fight where you put a fighter in, right? Where some definitely be some damage in it,
I want them to say, "Man, Tank punished me." Ford explained. For him, it's not about the knockout, but the story of endurance and grit. Davis wasn't always the confident fighter we see today. Ford shared a memory from Tank's amateur days that revealed a more vulnerable side of the boxing star.
Oh, Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at seafood.
At a national competition, Davis saw the size of professional gloves and was taken aback. He said, "I ain't never going pro." "Ain't nobody hitting you with them," Ford recalled. The thought of taking punches with smaller gloves was intimidating for Davis at the time.
First press in New York, I think it raised some eyebrows because Tank was by himself, but not too much because Lamont was by himself and there wasn't too many people there. After the second one, there was some questions. Tank said what he said when he was asked about Coach Calvin. He didn't know. But then they reunited. What's your thoughts or any kind of message you could offer? Because obviously they got a relationship that's deeper than just a trainer and a fighter.
We don't know where this stuff is coming from, but it wasn't no reunited. They never separated.
I guess it's because of Tank's comment, because he was.
But Ford encouraged him, pushing him toward the professional ranks in 2013. Tank made his pro debut with a knockout victory, and the rest is history.
Let me explain something to you. Tank don't look at me as coach, he look at me as dad. Do it look like his son supposed to be taking care of dad? I don't even feel right. Y'all hear this time? Oh, Tank don't pay his coach. Tank gives me anything I want.
Right.
But I'm a man at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I'm a hustler.
Right.
Second and foremost, I came from.
For Calvin Ford, boxing is about momentum and endurance, not just knockouts. When it comes to Gervonta Davis, the momentum has been significant, partly due to the constant presence of Leonard Ellerbe, another key figure in his corner. However, Davis recently made a surprising appearance at Leonard Roach's press conference alone.
Fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always, he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, oh, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
Without Ellerbe, Ford, or his entourage, raising questions about potential changes in his camp.
I know you're emotional because you care so much about these kids in this city. Am I right?
Trying to hold it together.
Ford, Davis' longtime trainer, is more than just a coach. He's a father figure and mentor who transformed Tank into the knockout artist he is today. Despite this, Ford's absence at the event sparked speculation about possible tension or deeper issues within the team.
Forget about Tank. In my mind, and y'all said it in the ring, we going up to 47. Then I'm sitting there saying, damn, 47, who they gonna fight at 47?
Interestingly, Ford isn't a fan of knockouts. He prefers fights where opponents endure prolonged punishment, revealing this surprising stance in a recent interview. Man, I don't like knockouts. I like punishment. Ford shared a memory from Davis' early days, recalling a sparring session where young Tank dropped a Russian opponent with one punch. Even then, Ford wished for a longer fight.
Now, I'm like, he walking around, it look like he don't even have to cut weight no more. Like, how locked in and focused is he on a day-to-day?
It's me now, because he understanding him. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I want to be old and be able to look at his kids grow up and sit there and say, I was a part of that.
Another memory from Tank's amateur days showed his initial hesitation to turn pro due to the intimidating smaller gloves.
Shout-outs go out to Martin, man. Martin was that guy, and I kept telling you, he was that guy. He came out partying. He came out partying, and Tank told him, you know, a lesson for everybody. When Tank get up and go sparring, he's just checking his parameter. He's checking his measurement stick when he get up and do that.
Ford pushed him, leading to Davis' knockout victory in his pro debut in 2013. And the rest is history.
The things about Tank, obviously, is that devastating power.
He was little. I used to call him Mercedes and BMW smashed together. You know, they was the two hottest cars.
Yeah.
He used to beat people up, beat the guys up in the ring. I said, yo, you could have knocked them out. It's like, bing, bing, bing. I'm gonna let you off.
Made a surprising appearance at Leonard Roach's press conference. Tank showed up alone, without the usual presence of Leonard Ellerbe, Calvin Ford, or his entourage.
Closet that is, I call it the Tank closet. And I have all his belts. I have all his belts. He don't care about the belts. He never did. You know what I'm saying? But again, I do. You know what I'm saying? Like when Devin and Tank would have been for it if they kept hold the belts. But he decided to give them up. So that fight went to the level. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. That was the reason to fight.
For a fighter of Davis' high profile, this was an unusual and unexpected sight. What's going on? Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis' longtime trainer, is more than just a coach. He's been a father figure, a mentor, and the driving force behind Tank's rise as a knockout artist. Ford's absence at such a significant event raised many questions. Is there tension between them? Was it merely a scheduling conflict?
It was a perfect fit. The Tank was like the family, you know what I'm saying? And he used to sit at the table because I had another kid named Ramon Manning. He liked to play with them guns, you know what I'm saying? And when I lost him, I was hurt because that was my first time losing a fighter that you put so much into. Remember, I said, Tank, my money running out. And he just looked at me and said, believe in me, coach. Believe.
Or is there something deeper happening in Tank's camp? Interestingly, Calvin Ford, with his unique perspective on boxing, might offer some insight. Despite coaching one of the sport's most feared punchers, Ford isn't a fan of knockouts. That's right, the man who shaped Davis into a co-artist actually prefers long, grueling fights where opponents are punished rather than knocked out cold. In a recent interview with Boss, Ford revealed his surprising stance. Man, I don't like knockouts.